Today I have first time in a while, Eric.
What's up, fools?
And today we are going over the first 5 issues of the Back to the Future comic by IDW. And this became such a big hit. They did not expect it to be as big of a hit as it was. It became such a big hit that they expanded this and extended it from being a 5-issue mini into an ongoing series that lasted 25 issues and a couple of spin-off miniseries.
Great Scott.
Well, what makes this... Yep. Well, so tell me when your history is Back to the Future. Like me, I assume you grew up on it?
No. It took me until I saw the movie. I was a teenager by that point. The new millennium had happened. I saw, like, the movies for some reason just kept airing on television and all these digital cable channels that I first got. And I just kept watching them so much. My parents said, "That's your graduation present. We're getting you the trilogy on DVD." So I did. And I've been a big fan of those movies ever since.
Well, I've known it longer than you.
Well, yeah. You saw everything earlier than me. I grew up on Disney movies, Adam Sandler, and odds and ends. And
but notice it though. Look who was involved with
Bob Gale. We know you've talked about that.
Well, I haven't talked to them about this.
Well, no. So tell them.
Yeah, Bob Gale was involved with this.
For those who don't know,
he was the actual writer of the movie, working around with Bob Zemeckis. It was his initial idea, and then he and Zemeckis expanded. But it's been Gale's mostly from the beginning.
Pretty much.
But yeah, here we're about to see now most of this stuff, unless it's specified, it's going to be in flashbacks. We might have some flash forward stuff with Emmett dealing with his family with Clara, Jules, and Vern.
Right. Remember, it's time travel. Future, past, present, anything could show up.
Great Scott! 0.04 gigawatts. That's it. That's an extreme disappointment. Emmett? Relax, Emmett. It's just us. Yeah, and Jules and Vern. Of course. My mind was merely fully immersed in the problem at hand. Your never-ending attempts to return to the future. Future? I mean, I'd have said go back to, but essentially your mother is correct, Vern. You see there? Out there lies the future, son. Or anyway, it did lie there. Or should I say, it will. Emmett, you're right, Clark. It is time the boys learn about their father. It may be
rocking on a teddy bear.
I know. The barren patch of land will be owned by our family, the Browns, formerly the Von Brauns, but that's an entirely other tale for another time. That's not my mother, formerly the Von Brauns, but that's an entirely other tale for the other time. A boy couldn't ask for a better playground than 1640 Riverside Drive. Though I suppose once I reinvent the flux capacitor, you and Jules will have all history as a playground. So a case could be made. I invented it the first time in that very house after falling off a toilet, which is sort of an indoor outhouse. An invention I assure you will appreciate. But I digress. We had a fortune, and I had certain interests of an inventological bent. Long story short, the house burns to the ground in 1962. Jeez. Some say with an accent, others say arson. Official cause, undetermined. Hey, at least no one gets injured. Moreover, the auxiliary structure is untouched. Luckily. By the 1970s, the majority of the property had been sold to developers. All that remained was the auxiliary structure, a reminder of a glorious past, encroached upon by a banal present, occupied by Emmett Lathrop Brown. So that's what the L means. Me and me alone.
Lathrop, yeah.
Lathrop.
And it became a Burger King.
Yep, until one day when everything changed. Hey, McFly. How's it hanging, McFly? I need to borrow your
Rocketer.
Borrow. Hey, Needles. You can do Marty if you want.
Hey, Needles. Yeah, well, yeah, I need to do Doc too. You were too raspy.
Well, yeah, but dude, I wanted to restore a lot of the stuff, so let me stick with Doc.
All right, but not too raspy. You sound like
Marty. You gotta come back with me. Is that better?
Better. Hey, Needles. You need you what?
for my amp, dipstick. The Tabascos have a game. The Tabascos have a. Yep. Because who was he played by?
Flea by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The
Red Hot Chili?
Peppers,
Tabasco?
Tabasco. Like, bad case of chili gas.
I'm a geek tonight, and I blew my tube by rocking too hard. Where you're playing, you're...
Oh, wait, you what?
Where you're playing, your tube must be mint.
Tell you what, Needles. I'll rent it to you for $5.
Whatever, I'll pay. Whatever, I'll pay you when I bring it back tomorrow.
Turn. Nothing doing. You pay me first.
Hey, watch it! That was your fault, McFly. Now I'm going to have to pound you.
Dude, what? I'm the one. Robert, scroll down. I can't see the. Thank you. Go. I'm the one who's worse off. I had a tube, but now I don't.
Let me explain something to you, McFly. Life's unfair, okay? And today's my day to be unfair to you. But I'll give you a break. You get me another tube by 4 o'clock, and I won't pound the crap out of you. Right, guys?
Boo. I don't even have any cash. How am I going to get one?
Guess you'll have to steal it.
No.
What's wrong, McFly? Chicken?
Dun. Nobody calls me Chicken, Needles. Nobody.
Then prove it. Be a man. Bring that tube to the clock tower by 4 o'clock, and then you'll get your guitar back.
Perfect. Just perfect.
Hey, look! Red!
Okay, watch where you're going, you crazy drunk pedestrian. Red.
All right. Okay, this is still Marty.
All right, you don't have any interrocitor. Could you actually look up that word to
Interrocitor.
Do a Google. Do a quick Google and see what the translate is for the pronunciation. I'm sorry about this, folks, but I'm really curious. Okay, there should be a Google soundbite.
Interrocitor.
So it's Ross and not Rock.
Or Rocketer. Rocketer.
Dude, never mind. I'll use Google on my phone.
I just used Google.
Yeah, but I didn't hear a soundbite. I usually hear sound bites.
Nope, no soundbite here.
A soundbite should be up here.
I'm looking up here.
Just a second. Then click on that video. Commercial? No, not a commercial. No, not that. Not that.
No, I wasn't. Oh, that's order.
Hold on. Interrocitor. Pronouns.
It just said it. It just said it. Interrocitor.
I can't hear it.
Hold on.
Robert, I can't hear it from here.
Hold on.
Interrocitor.
Thank you. Yeah, there's the echo effect, and boy, do I sound like an nasally bastard.
I didn't want to say anything.
Dude, no, you always hear it with recordings of myself. How do I tell I'm a good voice actor if I'm not going to sound like these?
Anyway.
All right, you don't have any interrocitor tubes. I get that. But you always had dozens of them. What happened to them all?
We sold them.
All of it? Would you stop having all characters?
I can't. Sorry, we sold them.
All of them?
It's called business.
To who?
I don't know. Didn't make the sale.
Can you look it up?
ELB Enterprises.
Huh? Never heard of it.
They're over at 1640 John F. Kennedy Drive.
1640 JFK Drive. Okay, great. I could just go over there and 164 JFK Drive. Whoa, that's Dr. Brown.
You know what, kid? You're right. He must have need him for his new improved death ray.
Death ray?
Well, that's what everybody said he's building. Actually, I think that's how his house burnt down back in 62.
Oh, wow, that's heavy. Hey, did you ever meet him? I mean, did he come in here and buy those tubes himself?
Nope. Mail order. Hey, McFly, don't be stupid. You go over there, you're taking your life in your hands. That Doc Brown's a real nutcase. Hey, you start messing around with him, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, well, Needles is demanding trouble. I'll take whatever I can get. Hello?
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 This is a recording.
Oh.
Please go away. Do not push the button a second time. You have been warned.
And what's everybody? What's with everybody in warnings today? Just pick up the phone. Youch!
Clearly, you were not one to foresee that. There's an electrical current. Harmless, but uncomfortable. Leave now, or the next one will be considerably more uncomfortable.
One to foresee? Hold on. 1, 2, 4, C.
Password is correct. You may enter.
Kid stuff. Dun, dun, dun. Hello, anybody home? But dude, stop scrolling.
I can't help it. It bounces.
Hello, anybody home? Come. Yeah, I figured it couldn't be that easy. Eureka! Ding! There's the tubes. For all the good it'll do me. Hey, well, I could just smash the... Now, come on, McFly. That's not who you are. Think, McFly, think. The padlock isn't going to open because of some wordplay. Unless...
No entry!
Unless it is. Unless it is. Hidden behind the sign. Let's get serious. Up. You missed something. I said up. There you go.
I missed it.
Whoa. Good thing I'm not as big as needles. It does. All right, never. Oof. Uh-oh.
Or better yet,
I know. Pee-wee.
Look at that. Bong.
What kind of a game is this guy playing? Hey, maybe two can play at it.
Reset.
Crap. Ouch. Okay, just grab the intern. Oh no. What now? Easy there. Good boy. Good.
Great Scott! It's about time. Dr. Emmett Brown at your service. Congratulations. You passed my test. And you are?
McFly. Marty McFly.
You already met Einstein. You're applying for the job, right, Marty?
The job?
As my assistant, it was all a big puzzle. I left those clues months ago. Eventually, I knew someone would figure them out. So, when can you start?
Well, right now, I guess.
Excellent! Your resource for this is most impressive. Using your skateboard to escape, icing on the cake. And Einstein likes you. He's an excellent judge of character.
Mr. Brown. Dr. Brown.
Doc. Call me Doc. As in, what's up, Doc?
I got what's up, Doc?
Yeah.
Guys, Doc, the truth is I really didn't come here to apply for your job. I needed a couple of interocitor tubes. And when I found out you sort of cornered the market, well...
So this was actually a robbery?
No, not at first anyway. Not at first anyway. I mean, if you'd have answered, I would have asked you. Very politely.
Well, it's my own fault. My reclusiveness has resulted in complications at various times in the past, but it's necessary. I simply can't have people disturbing my work. Oh no, look!
All the dog food. Oh, that's disgusting. What exactly is your work?
I never discuss it.
Okay, cool. I get that. Like me, I never play a new song for anyone until I'm sure I've got it right.
Marty, now my turn and my truce. I wasn't advertising for a job. I just wanted to see what would happen if I offered you one.
So it was like an experiment? A human experiment?
Precisely!
So there's no job.
There is if you want one.
And I'd hang around here in the middle of all this junk and just do stuff?
I'd need you to run errands, procure supplies, possibly do inventory.
Heck yeah, I want the job. And heck yeah, I can start today. Hey, after an errand on my own.
Don't you want to discuss pay?
I don't care. No, I care. I'll be happy just to be the guy who knows Dr. Emmett Brown.
But you can't tell anyone about what goes on here. Ever.
Even better. Hey, about those tubes.
Huh? Oh, those things. I just needed a box that size for my static-o-matic electric hair chair. I dumped the trash, the tubes in the trash can outside.
Huh. So I could have. Never mind. Hey, Doc.
That is such a Back to the Future joke, isn't it?
Yeah, never mind. Hey, Doc. Thanks.
Vern. To this day, I don't know why Marty needed the interocitor tubes. So where'd you get this, McFly?
I took your advice and stole one. And from Dr. Emmett Brown.
But that guy worked on the bomb. I heard he's radioactive.
Well, enjoy the tubes, needles. I'm sure it's fine.
Whatever the case, that was the day I met Marty McFly. Without him, I would have never met your mother, and you would have never been bored by your old man's tales. He's not even 3 yet, Emmett. You can't expect Vern to stay awake through a story like that. Of course not. Good thing I have a million tales, Clara, and all the time in the world to tell them. Now, I should point out the artwork here is the guy who worked on the Ghostbusters comic.
No, I should have known. And look what shirt I'm wearing.
Yep. Robert, I have a Robert. Yes, I'm sorry. Robert, I have a bone to pick with you. Emmett, what? Don't you have a class to teach? It's fine. I have them working on the Jacobian conjecture. You don't teach a math course, which means they'll be more than thoroughly occupied. Now, back to my point. I know, Robert. I know everything. I know that some of the finest minds ever produced by this institution have been quietly shuffled up to what I can only conclude from thorough research is a top-secret think tank meant to benefit the war effort. With my credentials, my name should have been at the top of such a list, Robert. You should have bust me off ages ago. It's not going to insult. I'm not going to insult your intelligence here, Emmett. There is something going on, something highly classified, and your name did come up, but I knew it! Why, I have so much to do before I leave. Can I bring my dog? Emmett, slow down. There was a reason you weren't put forth. Besides slight and simple oversight, you are fully qualified for a position, but, well, the vetting process involves an interview at your home with the military brass, bureaucrats, possible psychologists, and once they see your apartment, look, I just don't want you to be disappointed. I suppose I can understand your point, Robert, but give me some credit after all. Every problem has a tenable solution. I must say, Dr. Brown, you are definitely not what we expected. Your colleagues characterize as more, I don't know, chaotic, but your home is impeccable. It really speaks to the kind of disciplined mind we're after. I couldn't agree more. Some interesting reference here. You a big fan of needlepoint? Well, since anything can inspire a breakthrough, I don't like to discount anything. Good answer. The interview was mostly a formality. I think it's a safe bet that. Oh, I beg your pardon, Doctor. I believe I just stepped on your mail. Let me just. No, I mean it's quite all right. It's fine. I tell Mrs. Gomez to enjoy her new issue of Good Housekeeping, Doctor. He used a different house.
Oops.
I refuse to believe I've blown my only chance. There has to be another way. Think, Emmett, think. Instead of think, McFly, think.
I know.
Maybe if it's strange. I don't remember leaving the lights on.
No. Sequence that better. Maybe if I strange.
I know. Maybe if I strange. I don't remember leaving the lights on. You didn't. You didn't. Welcome home, Dr. Brown. Nice to put a face to the name. Great Scott! You're Oppenheimer. You're J. Robert Oppenheimer. Yes, I remember. But what are you doing here? It was intimated that I had failed the interview. No, I said we'd be in touch. We were well aware you were using your landlady's residence for the interview, Doctor. Pardon our charade. But it was explained to me that my apartment, Pshaw, Milliken can be a little too rigid about the connection between cleanliness and discipline. I want unconventional mind, people who see the world differently and aren't considered by normal methods of problemizing. The kind of mind who first thinks to borrow an orderly apartment instead of simply cleaning his own. So I'm in. He looks like Egon.
Yeah, oh my God, and it does. It could be my direct descendant for all I know, Peter.
Uh, say goodbye to the cushy life of at Caltech, Brown, and welcome to the Manhattan Project. Aha! And I have just the thing to mark the occasion. I've been saving this, gentlemen. Who's up for Jello?
The
Mushroom
mushroom
Jello?
plant. By the
No,
way, it's
no.
very By the way, it's very timely considering you saw Oppenheimer last month.
Yep. So, what did you think of this first issue?
Yeah, not bad. We see a lot from Doc's, history, I guess.
Yep. Well, we actually find out what happened when he joined the
The
Manhattan.
Blues Brothers. Doc, come in, Doc. This is Marty. Over. That's not conspicuous at all.
Yep.
Oh God, Donald Trump, Biff.
Yep.
You're supposed to be in boarding school, you son of a bitch. Once you get kicked out of another boarding school?
You just said you're in Switzerland, you son of a bitch.
Switzerland, sorry.
The Doc that never was. All right, now is Doc causing trouble here? And I'll say, looks like the circus is back in town. What the hell kind of fun is that? You better get out there, Marshall. And before Doc Brown does whatever Doc Brown is fixing to do. Doc Brown, what's this about? Marshall Strickland, you're looking very healthy. Have you arrived to lend a hand? I seriously doubt that. Well, as you can see, some friends and I are laying down some track for a little experiment. Precisely! The kind of experiment that needs 50 yards of track and no train. Don't make a whole lot of sense, Doc. The future doesn't make sense, and doesn't always make sense. Which reminds me, boys, of the time I changed the future, but I don't even remember it. Let me tell you the story. It was a night like any other, until everything changed. So wait, how does he know he changed it but doesn't remember it?
Good question. I said, by the way, hey, it's Haley finally got a circle with hair.
I know, Strickland. And Jesus, did that guy ever have hair?
Well, his ancestor did. Remember that word, discipline. I will, Pop.
I bet you the actor loved to have a wig on.
Yes, he looked like Doc Holliday in Tombstone.
We were amidst an event that would
not Doc Holliday, Wilder.
Yep. I remember it as the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's a long story, boys. Suffice to say, a lot of us thought the world would end that week. Missile deployment, blockade, could mean war. We beg all governments not to remain deaf to this cry of humanity. I've been working on the flux capacitor. Have been since Marty McFly went back to the future and the past. Anyway, it had been 7 years and I was running out of patience. And frankly, money. What? What is it, Copernicus? Is someone here? Some interesting reference you have there, Doc. I'm surprised you haven't taken up needlepoint in your declining years. General Groves! Retired, Emmett. The Manhattan Project took a lot out of both of us. Well, I see you forgot how to knock. We don't knock anymore. Cuba took care of that. The name's Lomax, Colonel Lomax, U.S. Army, operating under the auspice of the Department of Defense. I see you've been keeping up. Why on earth would a fella have more than one TV? I got the idea from an old friend, or a future friend. It's complicated. Wait, that's not important. Are you here, and why are you here at my domicile? So, having more than one, different television channels.
Right.
And teasing on the brink, end is near. We're looking for a way to stop that from ever happening. You're a little late. Woof! What? What? Why? This creature? Easy, Copernicus. These are friends. I think. Late, you say. We have a different viewpoint. Thing is, Doc, I never forgot your flight of fancy back in Los Alamos. Always dreaming, but if anybody could, Doctor, the cut to the chase, the United States government is prepared to pay you handsomely if you can build a time machine. Now, don't forget, boys, I knew I would accomplish my goal. This wasn't mere self-confidence. Marty was proof of my future success. And I may have mentioned I sunk my personal fortune into making the flux capacitor, so an offer like this was all I could have hoped for. Wasn't it? Come along, gentlemen. You'll find this experimental prototype impressive. I call it the temporal field capacitor. You might refer to it as a time machine. Of sorts? I knew we could count on you, Emmett. Of sorts. It'll all be clear in a moment, at least to General Groves. And Groves, I can't vouch for your intellect, Mr. Lomax. Colonel Lomax. Lomax! Lomax, I get it!
Lomax, yeah, Lomax, I get it.
Now you see here 2 identical trays with identical stopwatches. Please feel free to examine them. Just get on with it. Also on the trays are 2 identical fast-burning candles. By the way, please start the stopwatches now. Thank you. The stopwatches and counters are synchronized as possible given the circumstances. One set goes inside, the other remains as our control group. Now the TFC cannot allow travel throughout all of time, only within its frame of its own existence. But that should provide a suitable proof of concept in precisely 19 seconds, which we shall catch up within the experimental candle and stopwatch. Can't wait. Why is it so blasted hot in here? Excuse me, I haven't figured out how to bypass that yet. Now check it inside. Where the hell are they? Mr. Lummox, the correct question is, when the hell are they? Spectacular. You've invented a way to disintegrate candles. Hang on, he's an eccentric, but we like that, our scientists. What kind of power is running that? 1/4 of a gigawatt. A little short of what I need, or what I suspect I'll need. Ah, 'cause he knows. Now it's cold. Relax, Lummox. It's refreshing. You'll find this refreshing, I hope. Ta-da! See for yourself. The experimental stopwatch is 90 seconds behind the control watch. Easily fake, Doctor. You come to me, Lummox. Why would I have a fake time machine in my living room? Even if I believed you, and I reserve judgment, what use is traveling to the future? The mandate is a machine that lets us change the past. He's got a point, Emmett. This is a prototype. I've tried to send things into the past, but even a few minutes causes a buildup of flux energy. At any further back, and I fear arrival at the target date would overheat the capacitor and start an electrical fire. But this is only an initial prototype. The first track's to be laid, as it were. With the right resources, I'd be able to solve the flux problem in no time. It's impressive, I admit. Doc,
it's interesting, I admit.
Interesting, I admit. Doc, you're never going to have to worry about funding again. Lummox, imagine the possibilities. The possibilities indeed. Unlimited money. But at what cost? The question hung over me that night. Surely the chance to prevent a nuclear war. I'll explain later what that is, Vern. And to continue my research. Surely that was all I could ask for. Cringe! My God! What is that? Sometimes when you ask the universe answers. And not always the way you expect. Great Scott! But he speaks Russian!
Doc!
Marty?
Doc, I can't pronounce that.
I know. Russian? Still, Copernicus and I didn't hesitate to enter. Marty was, in any language, our friend. But what we saw must have been a nightmare. Great Scott! It was 1982. It was Hill Valley, but Hill Valley no sane man would dream of. A future of absolute chaos. Is this what happens if I don't help prevent the situation in Cuba from occurring? Well, when you ask, sometimes the answer and the universe answers. It was no normal future. It was a future of time travel running amok. I understood at once. First, the United States would possess time travel, so the Soviet Union would have no choice but to follow suit. An arms race would ensue, and the results spoke for themselves. Outside the shopping mall where Marty and I first tested the time machine, I grasped the ultimate implication. Oh, crap! Warfare fought in a world where time could be altered so targets never existed. A means of defense, a second front of an attack. Ultimately, it didn't matter who did what. Marty, I think it's time to get out of here. After the Manhattan Project, after helping usher in one arms race, Marty, come on! Marty! My consciousness couldn't take another and being party to another. Great Scott! I'm back. We're back. It's all back. Was it a dream? A vision? Did it somehow happen? By God, it doesn't matter. This technology can't be used in the hands of any government. But now that Groves knows it's here, he'll stop at nothing to get it. Unless it was a desperate gamble. I sought back to the beginning of August, a night where Copernicus and I would fall asleep at at the workbench of my quite fireproof laboratory. I'd invented the temporal field capacitor once that summer. I could do it again later. The government money wouldn't come, but at least I'd ensure that house out the wazoo. Yeah, at least I'd ensure that house out the wazoo. Whoops! This is the right place. But where's Dr. Brown's house? Afraid you're a couple of months late, mister. Hi, Goldie Wilson. I'm running to be your District 3 representative. Hope I can count on your vote, and if I can't, we're from out of town. Do you know what happened to that mansion? Or its owner? Sorry, Doc Brown's been reclusive since he burned it down. On the down low, everyone knows it was for insurance money. Evan Brown, an insurance thief? That does not sound like someone we can count on, Groves. let's get out of here. We're barking up the wrong tree. Ha ha! So how'd you remember it? I thought you said
all
time.
that.
All that. I thought you said time travel, dude. No. Don't you see? I left myself a note. Emmett, you can't expect the boy to grasp every intricacies of the space-time continuum. Not yet, anyway.
I think
intricacies.
There we go.
I know. Space-time continuum. Not yet, anyway. Looking good, Clara. Mom, of course not. I barely understood that. I barely understood at their age. Ma, Emmett, I'm joking, Clara, but it's important to expose them at an early age. After all, it's never too early to start laying tracks for the future. Then, science project.
Workshop, scroll up.
The workshop of Emmett Brown.
September 1984. Not radioactive.
Miscellaneous.
I know, MISC. Okay, there's got to be something I can use in here somewhere. Maybe not these things. Hey, what the heck are they anyway?
They're meant to make using eye drops easier, you know. Oh, I get it.
Oh, right, tubes. What? Doc.
And for jittery people. I wasn't expecting you today, was I? It's been a busy week.
No, not today, but okay, here's the thing.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
I'm still listening.
I'm still listening.
Thank you. I kind of have this science project due tomorrow. I just got busy, you know. No, there's been band practice and well, look, I was just thinking you might have something laying around here that I could use.
I'm not going to do your work for you, Marty.
Oh, geez, Doc, no, I wasn't asking.
But you're free to borrow anything you find here. I doubt there's anything that would be useful to you, but you're more than welcome to look.
Hey, all right.
Hey, look.
The radio, the
case.
Yeah, the case with the
plutonium.
With the nuclear plutonium. Yeah, I really appreciate this, Doc. Geez, Doc, what the heck?
Neptune picked him up from a giant fish tank I never got around to building. Unless you meant his necktie. Oh, it's an umbrella necktie.
No, that I figured out. This probably wouldn't impress Mrs. Zawadatsky. Yeah, Zawatsky. I'm afraid to ask.
That's an electric hoe. Perfect for weeding. And weeding needs a lot of power, though. You have to wear the battery.
Hey, let's just put this on the floor. Well, what are you doing with that wire, Doc?
Disentangling it. Very relaxing. Would you like to try it?
Not unless you figure it'll help me with my science project. Ow! Something poked me. Let me guess. You keep to keep you from hitting the snooze, right?
Mr. Sneeze.
Yeah. Okay, Doc. Maybe you could just give me a tip or something.
Sorry, Marty, but the essence of science is discovery. Down.
Wow, how do you like that?
Chink, chink, chink.
It's a magnet.
Of course, you know electricity and magnetism used to be thought of as two separate things until Albert Einstein's theory of relativity and...
Yeah, that's great, Doc. Say, do you mind if I borrow this stuff?
I'll see you Thursday, Marty, and don't forget to bring a case of oil. Don't give me that look. I didn't help him. Oh, I've been expecting this. Hello? Yes, I left a message. Very interesting. No, that shouldn't be a problem. When can I get a look at her? Ha!
The DeLorean.
But how is that an issue?
Just all the weird, his crazy inventions.
But what do you think about the fact about him, we find out why the house burnt down?
Oh, yeah. He did it on purpose to avoid the Cuban Missile Crisis. To avoid
a
bigger disaster than the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, a temporal Cold War.
Yeah.
In search of Calvin Marty Klein. Okay, do you want to do the voice of George here?
I suppose. Hang on, let me get into George character. Character. All right, now
Hey,
Biff.
you.
I know Biff. I didn't remember it. That blind spot when I drove it. Hi, son.
How about the like, hey, you, get your damn hands
Yeah,
off
get your
her.
damn hands off her. You really think I ought to swear?
And Emmett, let's see here. Emmett, if the introversion matrix is at 43 degrees, Emmett, then the field coil armature should be at Emmett. What? Ow! What is it? Your sons were fooling around and wouldn't come when I called. That's terrible. And neither did you. And they get this from your side of the family. You're probably right. We brown boys have a bit of a contemptuous streak.
Contumacious?
Oh boy, just imagine Chris ever saying these lines.
Oh God, you're probably right. Well, we brown boys have a bit of a somebody look that up.
Contemptuous.
Okay, thank you.
Streak. Now, mind your mother. After all, you need somebody looking after you. And you're not going to believe this, but that reminds me of a story of a couple of other kids. It was only a few years after Marty returned to the future.
1958.
I was having a pleasant enough weekend working on my prototype temporal field capacitor, which I believed, quite correctly by the way, would be the key to building the flux capacitor. But I digress. Pipe wrench? Come on, I don't have all day. I need a pipe wrench. Copernicus, that's a torque wrench. Still not bad for your first try. Now, Copernicus, perhaps you could lead me to the toolbox. I seem to have gotten, it seems to have gotten misplaced. My reputation for, let's call the eccentricity, would grow over the years, particularly after the fire. But even back then, I had a feeling a visitor on a Saturday morning wasn't delivering good news. That's George.
Oh, where is he? I need to talk to Calvin Marty Klein. And right the hell now.
George McFly! Who? I mean, what did we say? Ah, you mean my nephew. Why, Marty, Calvin, and his parents moved after the enchantment of the sea dance.
I don't want to hear about the stuff I know. I want the things I don't know. Where'd he move to? Why hasn't Marty come back to visit?
Well, you remember his interest in sailing. He went to college. Wait, isn't that where you should be?
That's the thing, Doc. Doc, I can't go back there. It's Lorraine. She's not interested in me anymore.
Great Scott! I thought the two of you had already set a wedding date.
Okay, we had in 1960, which sounded so far in the future. But you know girls. Do you know girls?
They defy all scientific logic.
It's best I gotta figure out about the other great mystery of life. Women.
Yep.
I gotta get the laugh sound. Hold on. Okay. Well, call leads to you. Get the mouse out of the way, please. The cursor is still in the way.
Sorry.
Thank you. Well, we're sorry, folks. This is all in one take.
Right.
Well, college leads to new things, and Lorraine's found some.
Boyfriends?
No, nothing like that. And it's just that I've been doing pretty dang well for myself. I had a bunch of short stories published in the Science Fiction Club magazine, you know.
Well, that old chestnut. Sci-fi club getting in the way of love, Ed.
And it's not sci-fi. It's science fiction. That old argument. And it's not just all the junk you see in movies and on the Late Show. It's respectable.
Of course.
Anyway, I'm looking for Marty because he gave me such good advice regarding Lorraine the first time. I figure he's my only hope.
Hey, wait there, 1 minute or two. I didn't have Marty. What I did have was a chilling realization. If Lorraine and George and Lorraine didn't get together, Marty wouldn't exist. But we've been down that road before. Where this was going, I didn't know if there were roads. Ha! But after all the knots we tied in the time stream, the effect of Marty not existing would be, well, I didn't know what they would be, but it wouldn't be good. For the sake of the space-time continuum, no chances could be taken. Fortunately, your old man is no one-trick pony. Time travel isn't the only thing I ever invented, although not everything always worked. If there's some way to get the device on Lorraine's head, we can find out what's going on in that head. Maybe a floral pattern. What? I was quickly learning the McFly family was not good at following instructions. I told you to wait. To wait for what? Dr. Brown, it doesn't matter. Where's your nephew? I need Marty right now. Wait, when did they? Oh, yeah, my uncle. One line, and they keep that. My uncle. Doc Brown.
Hi.
The
only time they interacted in 5 movies together.
Yes, that can't be. That can't be the problem, can it? What? I need to talk to him. He's the only person who can get George to stop ignoring me. What? Oh, I suppose I don't care. I can do better. There are other fish I'm just adrift in the sea without him. George has just been so full of himself, so into his writing, and so swallowed by his ego. He's forgotten how to laugh at himself, and that was always his best feature. Heavy. Wait, there, 1 minute or 2. Okay, right idea, wrong invention. It all starting to add up. I remember back when Marty had first arrived, when he came back in time and accidentally stopped his parents from getting together. I was trying to help him figure out his parental problems and fix my time machine.
Jeez, Doc, I don't know about this.
Relax, Marty. Tell me about your father.
Well, I'll tell you, what are you, Sigmund Freud? And what about him?
Wait, what's he like? You've known him your whole life.
I don't know. He's my dad, you know. But he lets himself get pushed around. He lets everything get in the way of his dreams.
Dreams, huh? Well, what does he want from life?
My mom, hopefully. Hey, but this is the thing. I never even knew this. But he told me he writes stories. Sci-fi stories.
Science fiction! Fascinating! Now, hand me a torque wrench.
Yeah, what?
we made George McFly assertive, all right? After the dance, he didn't just course correct from being a pushover weakling. He became a self-important jerk. Okay, I like that, showing that there was a side effect that Doc had to fix.
Oh.
I have it! I have it!
What, Marty?
Better than Marty!
Hey, what is it?
A tiny radio receiver. I got the idea from Marty's Walkman.
What?
From when Marty and I took a walk, man.
So, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to Crayona de Bagaric you.
Huh?
You'll talk to Lorraine. I'll tell you what to say.
Hey, how'll that help? It's Lorraine's problem, not mine.
Trust me, George. I know exactly what to say. It was all working so well. We both did all this before, so I think we should know what we're doing now. What? Until it wasn't.
What?
Shh. Don't move a muscle. Copernicus spied a raccoon or a coyote. Just wait there a minute or two. We keep saying a minute or two. Lorraine saw George and me with the radio. She's a smart lady. She'll put 2 and 2 together. Wait! And whoop! And that that could equal a much harder time to save the time stream. I heard you say, it's not what you think. Marty's here, isn't he? You were talking to Marty, but you don't want me to know. Oh, yeah, sure. But why wouldn't you want Marty to see me? He just shouldn't see you here. Does he still have a thing for me?
What is that?
Are you afraid of me throwing myself at the mysterious Calvin Marty Klein? I'll have you know I'm an adult. I can make my own decision, and I've made up my own mind about who I want to be with.
But who's she with? Could it be?
Stop being coy and give me what I need. Oh no!
Uh-oh. Nobody's given anybody anything.
Marty! George!
Doc?
George! And my George! Great Scott!
Lorraine?
Woof!
Doc. Hey, you get your damn hands off her.
George, wait! Wait!
Yeah.
Wait has nothing to do with it. That's him going, whoa.
Whoa, Doc. What's the...
whatever you do, don't move until it's finished its cycle.
Hang on. This is some kind of electric chair?
No. Well, sort of. It's my static-o-matic electric hair chair.
What's it doing, Doc?
What was I doing? This was getting absurd. When Marty stopped his parents from meeting, this was change we had to fix. But this, using knowledge of the future to attempt to what? To control it? Oh. My knight in shining static electricity.
I'm your density.
I almost prevented nature from taking its rightful course. Marty and I fixed the mistake, but you can't go through life fine-tuning everybody until they're just what you think they should be. Sometimes life takes care of things.
Hey, you want to go see a movie, Lorraine?
Something romantic?
There's a new one called From the Earth to the Moon. That sounds perfect.
George, I hope you never change. There, I adjusted the armature. Anybody could see the angles were off. But you're right. You have to let things take their own course. Okay, but doesn't that story prove Mom should have left me and Vern alone? Details. It's just going to prove nothing's perfect. Not even time. Except for one time. Yeah. Bedtime.
I know.
We
get it, Ma.
Yeah, we get it, Ma. Like your father said, mind your mother. A lesson I learned the hard way. But that's another story.
Another story?
Yep. Then Jurassic Biff.
Hey, Butthead.
Previously, on October 21st, 2015, 78-year-old Biff Tannen saw Doc Brown's veto Marty's plan to bring a sports almanac back through time and being rich via sports betting. Realizing the brilliance of the idea, Biff retrieved the book and borrowed the DeLorean time machine when Doc and Marty left it unattended. Now Biff flies off, intending to give the almanac to his teenage self. But there's one problem. You want to do Biff?
Yes, Thomas F. Olson is amazing. How's this damn thing work? Voice activation, maybe? Hello? Oh, anybody home? Hey, I want to go back to 1955. Maybe this handle switch thing does something, or this keypad. Dang. Well, when all else fails.
So that's how it got busted!
Oh, diggity. Damn, I gotta fix that. All right. That did it. That did something. It's day, so I must have traveled through time. But wait, that's the freaking ocean. If El Valley's underwater, what year is this? Did the big one take out California? Hey, this can't be good. And I need fuel for Mr. Fusion. There better be something on shore I can shove in the chamber. No long hanging fruit or branches. So much for organic fuel. Guess it's gonna have to be my clothes and this shirt. This is my lucky shirt too. Who's there? Hello? Habla English? Show yourself. Whoa, okay. I went back a little further than I thought.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw that Spielberg movie back in the day. Mr. Raptor. And I ain't Mr. Raptor. And I ain't gonna be no dino dinner. What are you looking at, butthead? Make like a tree and leave.
Hey, you got it right!
For once.
Well, remember, he corrected himself, remember?
That's right,
Make like a tree and get out of here.
You sound like a damn fool saying it like that.
Anyway.
You deaf or just stupid, numbnuts? I said get out of here. You smell some Chinese food for that trash can, eh? Hey, you lousy thief, bring that back. That's mine. Let's just Mr. Fusion don't run dry. Yeah, you can run, but you can't hide. That guy. Sorry. I'll teach you to steal my stuff. And Biff scores. Back in the biz. Back in biz. And I think I can operate this sucker now. I just got to remember where I was on a certain date. November 12th, 1955. And arrive early. And arrive early. There.
Look, he shoved the raptor into.
What, did it grind him up?
I think once it goes in there, it gets dissolved as it goes in. Though, like,
right. Fortune and fame. Here comes Biff Tannen, fueled for the future, or is it the past?
One more issue. No, two more issues still. How was that one?
I keep forgetting old Biff has this raspy voice. I was more expecting younger Biff. I could go like, "Well, you call it butthead," but no, I gotta be down here. But just shut up about the car.
I'm just double checking. Yep. So yeah, it is. But yeah, look at this cover.
No, up there's the train. Jennifer.
Yeah.
Oh, you a psych for sore eyes. Peer pressure.
So we got peer pressure, and Emmett Brown visits the future.
Nice.
Emmett, yes, Clara dear, if you're going out to your lab, could you look for my lesson book? I swear I left it somewhere. I mean, of course it's somewhere, but yes, dear, I'll send the boys if I see it. Emmett, are you feeling ill today? Are you feeling ill? Today doesn't seem like an overcoat day. Fine, just a little chill this morning. Whew! Look at the train.
It runs on steam.
I keep forgetting the first capacitor was in the front of it.
Oh, I missed that detail in the third movie.
Yeah, because we never saw it inside the train, so yeah, it was in the front of it. A line down and the flux energy will flow negative to positive. A line up and down. Great Scott! Is that any way to greet your old man? Sorry, Dad. Is that the flux capacitor? No, it's nothing.
Capacitor. Okay.
Flax
capacitor.
No, it's nothing. Just the next piece, another step closer. One small investment after another. You know how science goes. I can't lie to my boys. Then why are you hiding from Ma? I know she says she wants to leave with me, but her whole life has been in this time period. Time travel has always been an abstract business that we'd have to deal with someday. Now someday is today. It wouldn't be the first time I kept things from someone I cared about. Let me guess. It reminds you of a story.
Yeah, they're starting to catch on, I think, at this rate.
Everything reminds me of a story, son. But this is a story about a lesson that I didn't learn until much, much later.
We have been 26, 1984, for I guess 1:16. 2:16 p.m.
Yep. He had been helping me at my lab for a few years by the time these events occur, and I trusted him implicitly. But that doesn't mean I told Marty McFly everything. As a young man in Hill Valley, he surely had much to deal with without my concerns concerning him.
Excuse me, sorry, just coming through. I gotta remember sorry, because he's Canadian.
Hey,
sorry. Oh, Jennifer from 4th grade, right?
And a few other grades.
Yeah, but I mean, you and me were, I was just
walking. I noticed, and I remember. Hey, baby.
Needles. Now's really not the time.
No time like the present, right, Jeannie? Jennifer, and I was talking to
Jenny,
and Jetty and Jennifer, and I was talking to Marty. I know, that's why I'm trying to save you.
Very funny, Needles.
A lady like you deserves somebody special, not McFly here. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Take you on his little skateboard? Hop in, Jenny. Let me treat you right. Hey! And relax, doll. Plenty of me to go around. Now let's roll. Ow! We'll paint the town. No thanks. You're lost. Catch you later, McFly. You too, Jetty. Oh, look, it's that one guy who's standing up always.
Yeah. Why did you say Genie?
I don't know.
Forget our lack of reading comprehension, even at our old ages, folks.
Look at that car.
Yeah, that's really something.
Really, Marty? I didn't think you were the type. See you later.
What does that mean?
The automobile had arrived a few months earlier. I typically kept it in my secret workshop, but that day I had some special modifications to make. There were significant alterations necessary to make the automobile time-worthy. What? A series of facts I concealed from my young assistant.
You home, Doc?
One moment, Marty.
Hi, Einstein. What do you know about women, Doc?
What? Women? They defy all scientific logic. Deja vu!
That again. You said a mouthful. Clunk. There's this girl at school.
Of course there is.
She she was talking to me, but then that jerk Needles came up and he's got a car and a driver's license and everything. On top of that, I just let him roll me right up, like roll right over me. What's a girl like Jennifer gonna see in a guy like me?
I'm sure she sees a fully functioning epidermis, and if you want to keep it that way, don't lean. I've upgraded my security system, very sensitive. Security system, very sensitive. I'm sure you recall the domino effect. Yep, first issue. Yep.
Maybe if I had to like Needles. I mean, not like Needles, but confident like Needles. She'd see how, no, I could be cool too. I do cool stuff, right, Doc?
Cool. What's temperature got to do with anything?
Okay, no, it means.
I know what cool means, Marty. I was employing a metaphor. What I mean is, cool hasn't got anything to do with anything. Never care what other people think of you, Marty. That's no way to live your life.
It's worked out for you.
I've got Einstein and my inventions. What else is there, Marty?
Yeah, good point, Doc.
Oh, I can imagine some of the little music, jingle.
Yeah,
Marty spent
the Wild Gunman.
The next school day avoiding this Jennifer girl, and the rest of the afternoon taking out his frustration as a young man does.
November 27th, 1984, 15:31 hour. Let's take that, and that, not so fast, hombre.
Nice shooting, Clint.
Then you got the wrong guy. My name's Jennifer.
What a coincidence. Don't shoot, Mr. Eastwood. I'm unarmed.
Yeah, hey, sorry. Whoa, so you like Clint Eastwood?
I think he's cool.
Well, yeah, me too.
I missed you at school.
Busy day.
I can see that. Your guy died.
Life is cheap in the Old West. Hey, I was thinking.
I tried that once.
Yeah, well, what I mean is.
Well. Looky what we got here. Hey, I told you before, you want to come in here, you got to buy something. Sure. You start ringing this up while I browse. McFly.
Needles.
And Jenny. Now, this is a classy place to take a date. I hear they got a special combo deal on hot dogs and nachos. Buzz off.
Yeah, it's not a date. I mean...
I know it's not a date, McFly. Dates are at places that don't suck with guys that don't suck. Anyway, I'm gonna go pick up my girlfriend and drive somewhere cool. In my car. Chicks love cars, and they love guys who have cars. Not that you know anything about that. I changed my mind on those chips. Cholesterol. What is with you two?
Listen, Jennifer, I gotta go.
I don't know what Marty thought he was going to do. An adolescent. It is not a time I'm looking forward to with you boys. I realized later Marty knew I had a secret. An automobile. But of course he didn't know what that vehicle was or what it would mean to us. In his confused mind, maybe he thought he could impress Jennifer. And I never know, and I never know what he did. Maybe at that moment it didn't matter if I did find out. Like I told Marty, I never much care what other people think. But Marty did.
I'm being a jackass. I'm sorry, Doc. Doc, I gotta get out of here.
Why, McFly, when the night's still young?
Aw, man.
Yeah, real man, McFly. Thanks for opening up the old coot's lab. I played you like a guitar. I didn't even need to call you chicken this time. So, what's the prize?
Hey! No, get your hands off that, Needles.
And he looks just like George!
Like father, like son. The guy's got the McFly veins running through his bloodstream.
Maybe that's why he told him. McFly, who do you think you are? Yeah, he's my assistant. What? So what?
So this up the dominoes.
But this time, hey! Let's roll, Dougie. I think the town painted you. And get this trash out of my laboratory.
He's gonna beat me up for that.
Tomorrow's problem, Marty. Tonight is, what are you doing here?
I was being a jerk, Doc. I was about to let you down, big time. I understand if you want me out of here.
Marty, I know the travails of youth are no picnic. I know you have thoughts and feelings when you're not here, but I understand I need to be able to keep secrets too.
Yeah, I know. I mean, how bad can your secrets be, right? Is that a flying car or something?
Not a terrible idea, but that's beside the point. You don't,
Flying car.
you don't have to be me, Marty. Don't keep your feelings for this girl's secret. What's the worst that can happen?
She punches me in the face.
Well, at least you'll be symmetrical.
Always the scientific mind.
And look in the background.
Hey, it's the man with no name.
Yeah, look, Sergio Leone. Triple feature.
They're going to be there a while because those movies get longer and longer.
Marty asked Jennifer out, and she said yes. One thing led to another, and while I confess I never knew what to do with her, Marty seemed happy. It wasn't anything I understood. Oh, I had Einstein by my side, and how I've missed the old boy. But human companionship, that wasn't anything I needed. Dr. Emmett Brown was above such nonsense. Until I met your mother, that is, then it all made sense. Well, that's nice to hear. It's also cute to hear you thought you were keeping secrets. You're a terrible liar, Emmett. But I've been doing it my whole life. Not to me. Now, Emmett, you must know I'd follow you anywhere. And seeing the world tomorrow has always been my greatest dream as well. So no sense in wasting time. When do we go back? Back where? Emmett Brown visits the future. Emmett L. Brown, audio log. One of a series recounting my very first visit to the year 2015. That is one version of 2015. The present time, well, time has no meaning when you're a time traveler. So in other words, it was 20. He's basically now saying the 2015 we see for the movie was at that point when they left.
Got it.
Which, if you ask me, that makes more sense.
So that explains when they went to the Jimmy Kimmel show. They got all confused why nothing happened, and they look at their cell phone and they're like, "What is this?"
Exactly. October 26, 1985, approximately 1:45 a.m. After Marty rejoined me at the mall, I loaded a plutonium pellet in the DeLorean, packed up my remaining cartridges, and accompanied by Einstein, took Marty home. As Marty headed to his house, I set the destination to August 8th, 2015. And headed into the future. Instantaneously, we arrived in the future. What marvels awaited? What wonders would we expected? I boldly drove into town, certain that no one in 2015 would be concerned about seeing a car that was 33 years old. I was definitely not prepared for what I saw. This couldn't be 2015. The time machine must have malfunctioned. Look at that!
Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles, Pac-Man.
Or not. Clearly, nostalgia remained in full force. 1980s Car Expo! My first prize goes to the DeLorean Hot Rod, owned by Mr. Emmett. A few judges weren't crazy about some of the modifications, but we were so excited just to see a real DeLorean. You get the grand prize, 10% off a hover conversion at my shop, worth $3,995. Hover conversion? Quick, cars flew. This was indeed 2015, and it was time for me to experience the real future. The courthouse was now a shopping center, and flying cameras called drones were ubiquitous. Commercials were on 3D video billboards, and just as obnoxious. And good manners had become a thing of a past. Turk off, old man! Hey! Then I saw it, Mr. Fusion Power Converter. It could solve all of my electronic energy needs, but it wasn't cheap, and I still needed $36,000 for the hover conversion, plus the exorbitant California sales taxes. Of course, my credit cards were expired, but not that I had any credit. Luckily, I had the foresight to bring some silver dollars, family heirlooms that I assumed would only escalate in value. But not enough. Sorry, these aren't in the best condition. 6,300 is as high as I can go. My future depended on funding, and the most valuable thing I had was the secret of time travel. But that wasn't for sale. I'd realized that back in 1962. But perhaps I own, or had access to, some material goods that had escalating value by 2015. I decided to find out. Atari! Cell phone!
Thriller.
Oh, look, He-Man! Teddy!
Hey, Teddy Ruxpin.
Wait, Reagan Bush!
Yeah, that gets re-elect, and we can beat those Russians. Now watch this.
Clearly, I was looking in the wrong place. What do you mean you never heard? What do you mean you never heard of the internet? I've been away. So apparently the internet did exist in 2015. I figured it out quickly enough, and in moments, I was able to access the prices of gold, silver, diamonds, and rare minerals. Great Scott! So that's the single greatest investment in the history of mankind. I still have plenty of plutonium. Next stop, April 18th, 1938. Whoosh! I left I need to guard the vehicle, and I headed into town. That'd be $1, sir. Would you like a bag? Yes, please. And with that, on $1 silver investment, I was fixed for life. I had money in the bank with no bank required. I'm telling you, I just made the deal of the century. Guy insisted on cash, so I got him. I got him down rock bottom. That's right, Harry. I bought a near mint Action Comics number 1.2.5 billion. I'm going to price it at 3, and look how many he got.
Cha-ching! Every comic fan would go right to Emmett's trunk for that. Then they'd be like, "Holy crap! Where did you get these from?" From somebody who had them in 1938. I've been saving them for a rainy day.
Yeah, that old man was clueless. No idea what he had. Some people are just dumb.
Oh yeah, that's what you think.
So think about that. 2.5 million. Look how many more he had. That explains how he got the suitcase. That explains how he afforded all that stuff. And I'm going to say all for $1 silver back in 1938.
Well, you're Nicolas Cage. Yeah, can I get another one of those?
Hey, again, what do you think about how they're answering so many questions?
That's the fact that it's Bob Gale actually doing it. He's probably answered a whole lot of questions.
Well, this one we're going to reveal. Turns out there was a ticking time bomb type of moment in the alternate 1985 that we never knew about.
Ooh.
Clara's story, which actually mixes as others. This is it, boy. Everything your old man's worked for has come down to one moment. You ready, Clara? More than I've ever been, Emmett, but... June 12, 1893. Have you laid sufficient tracks? Last time you required far more distance to get up to speed. Good question, Laura. Oh, look, there's Marshall Strickland and future Principal Strickland.
Yeah, Strickland. Jesus Christ.
It was a day I expected to be one of my highlights of my life. This is Clara speaking. But I refined the Presto logs we used to get Marty back to his time. And these tracks are aligned with the railway that will be built in the 1950s, still in use in 1985, where we will pick up Einstein. And doesn't your doggy miss you? From his point, I've only been gone a few hours, Jules. Plus he's used to my eccentricities. At any rate,
I think it's
eccentricities. It's eccentricities. At any rate, once we have Einstein on board, well, and where we're going, we won't need tracks. Well, we will need them, but we won't have them. So we'll figure out a way to not need them. Please, Emmett, no more delays. I'm ready to travel. Boy, is she excited!
Yeah, her eyes are like ready to bulge out of her skull.
Just so, the future awaits. What's going on, Pa? Are you sure that doctor has a plan, son? However, I haven't the foggiest idea what it may be. Hang on tight. This is about to get serious. I feel I must pause here and take a moment to explain my feelings at that moment. For it occurs to me that while you might know my actions in this saga, you know little of the women partaking in them. We finally get some filling in on Clara's history.
It's about time, Jim and Nets.
I mean, they hinted some of it in the cartoon.
Oh yeah, this whole thing with Joseph Vernon reminded me of the cartoon.
and well, that's why they keep their a bit of their personality, and they do actually nod the stuff here, like her getting sick. But anyway, so if you pardon this digression, I was born in New Jersey, the daughter of Martha and Daniel Clayton. My father was mild and introspective. He met my mother, a rough frontierswoman, while on a butterfly expedition in the Western Territories. It was love at first sight, the meeting of opposites. I'm told I took after my mother, which was of this, I'm sure, a challenge. I believe my escapades convinced my parents that one child was more than enough. But I found a sense of purpose when I was 11 after contracting diphtheria. In retrospective, I was lucky to survive the disease, though I didn't feel lucky. So my father bought the gift that opened opened up my world. This day, I know not if he meant the telescope to be an object of observing children at play, to draw me closer to them. I feel certain he did not expect me to forgo sleep in favor of stargazing. The world of the sky, of other space, was previously unknown to me. It was a frontier uncrossed, and I found the implicit possibilities intoxicating. I learned I was not alone in my consideration of the promises of the cosmic Acer, from the Earth to the Moon. I found a deep kinship with a man many years my senior, one whom I never met nor spoke to, but whose words spoke to me. Jules Verne's ideas lifted my heart, and more important, inflamed my mind. I eagerly awaited each new release from Monsieur Verne, a practice I still maintain. It was warming, meaningful. Someone understood me, while the children around me, grew and offered me little interest. Of course, I offered little to them. I believed then, as I do now, that people should tell the truth. Yet so much of what passes as relationships with others as its foundation in half truths or outright lies. Oh, look! She's talking, he's looking at her who's with him. Lies of politeness, of proprietary, of society. My mother, trying to fit in with a civilization that tamed her wild nature, understood. Father attempted to introduce me to young men from good families. But these, and look, she's talking about around the world in 80 days, but these never lasted long or ended satisfactorily. It thus came as no surprise to anyone when I became a school teacher. The unmarried lifestyle endemic to the profession suited me, and young minds were so open to the possibilities, truthful and imaginative, much like Jules Verne or myself. Aww!
Scroll down. Oh.
My father died in 1879. My mother 5 years later. My parents left me a modest sum of money, a house in New Jersey, and the worst qualities forged between them. From my father, I gained meekness and introspection. From my mother, I inherited a disregard for convention, unbecoming of my gender. One night, I saw the future. I was alone, surrounded by books and an empty house. Ghosts walked the corridors, not the spirit of the departed, instead phantasm of a life left unlived. I awoke with a start and a single thought. Go west. Oh boy, look at that!
Oh,
What could have been?
Yeah, just like the books.
So I did. Hearing of a teaching job in Hill Valley, California, as far from the civilization of the East Coast as one could find in the United States. Hey,
Indians!
It's the same ones! However, I hope to discover, I know not. A new frontier, as the stars above had promised. Love, as my parents found upon the Oregon Trail. I found both, but not as I expected. Emmett Brown was a man out of time, a man from a world I had only dreamed of. Initially, I did not believe him, of course. But by the time Emmett helped his friend Marty return to the future from whence he came, I knew I had found a kindred soul, one of whose thirst for knowledge equaled or exceeded my own. And I hastened to add, he was a hero. He understood my feeling of isolation, of being born in the wrong time. In Hill Valley, decades before he would be born, Emmett finally fit in. His vocation as a blacksmith provided for us and allowed him time to enjoy scientific pursuits. And Emmett was happy. He gladly relinquished the drive that had once spurred him. And I wondered, had I been born in his era, would my interest have been encouraged by society? Oh, look, she's wondering if she would have done the same thing. Would I have become a time traveler like Emmett? Are you truly content? Well, what? Then here with me. Is this what you want from life? Of course, Clara. I've never been happier. But don't you miss the universe? All of space and time was once your domain, and now it's not all fun and adventure. Something happened, didn't it? Tell me the story, Emmett. It's not a tale for the faint of heart, but perhaps you should hear it. When I built the time machine, it was to witness not only where mankind had been, but where we were going, and to help understand the greatest of unknowns, to see the future. When I finally got there, I stumbled upon a boy's mistake, the far-reaching consequences of which would ultimately destroy the family of my closest friend. I know that interfering with events that had already happened could be cause for a catastrophic outcome, but I put that thought aside. This was the future, I told myself. It hasn't truly happened yet, which meant I could fix it. Pure hubris, and I know that, but I believed I owed it to Marty, whose help I needed to implement the plan I concocted. As we both know, the more variables one introduces to any given situation, the less control one has over the outcome. It succeeded in my initial goal. Marty's son was kept from making a life-altering mistake, but in the process, the secret of time travel was discovered and used without my knowledge. When we returned to our time of origin, things weren't correct. There were buildings that had never been built, pollution that was out of control, and a wanton disregard for law and order. This was not the Hill Valley we left behind. It was a hellish slum. No, it was Hill Valley, but I can't realize hell being much worse.
I'm taking a look at that, and I cannot picture that without hearing I Can't Drive 55.
I can't drive 55. No, it's 65.
No, no, yeah, when he played live, they realized, no, it's got up, guys.
At first, I held out the Photoshop that the DeLorean's time signatures were somehow misaligned, and we wound up in a dystopic future that my actions had somehow ensured. It was the most remote of possibilities, but I had to eliminate that. I broke into the library and raided its newspaper archive. It not only effectively dispelled any illusions I may have had about being in the wrong time, it revealed that time had been changed, and Marty and I had returned to a parallel timeline, a timeline that had been rewritten, the destiny of the entire world. And worst of all,
No,
I need a
and
perspective.
which this had happened to me.
I need a perspective. I needed to talk to someone, and in that moment, there was only one person that I could think of. You want to talk to Emmett Brown? I'm sorry, mister. What did you say your name was? Von Braun. I'm a distant cousin. I'm sorry, Mr. Von Braun, but that just isn't possible. Are you sure about that? Well, when you put it that way, especially in this corrupt future, 1985, you got 5 minutes for all to get ill, do you? Hello, Emmett. I understand this is unconventional, and I assure you that I wouldn't be doing it if it weren't of the utmost importance. I needed a better understanding of the particulars of your history. I found evidence that Vince Tannen created this alternate reality by going back in time. That's bad enough, but what kind of damage was really done? If the newspapers are to be believed, you were committed before I completed a fully functional version of the time vehicle. How could this world exist without time travel? Biff needed knowledge from the future, or none of this could. We created a paradox. Oh God, this is my worst fear. You realize the space-time continuum will eventually try to correct itself. Surely you realize this. And when it does, this version of me will be erased. The DeLorean will be wiped from existence, and all the history affected, the decades-long and divergences. Do you understand what's happening? I could use your insight in order to... Great Scott!
Yeah.
I performed a lobotomy on my other self, cut out a chunk of his brain, Clara. They destroyed his mind. My mind! This was hell, Clara. A hell of my own making. By trying to change the future for the better, I'd ruined the present. Marty and I were safe for the moment, protected by a bubble of the timeline we had come from. The bubbles burst, and when this one did, if it did, the world will feel the full effects of the temporal feedback as it all came to a screaming end. See what I mean, though? There was a ticking clock.
Oh, jeez. No wonder they had to fix it. Yeah. So there's bigger reasons to fix it than just getting the buck back.
Universal destruction was at the forefront of my mind as Marty and I returned to the 1950s to undo the point of divergence before it could even occur. We succeeded, but it was clearer than ever that time travel was simply too dangerous. The temptation to use it for one's own ends were clearly too great to resist, even for me. Before I could return to the proper time and destroy my work once and for all, fate intervened and brought me here to my favorite era. A place where I was free from the temptations to fiddle with the stuff of the universe. I was getting a second chance. In heaven this time instead of hell. This reality with you. This is perfection. This is where I belong. Emmett, I'm with child. You're to be with we're to be a family. I've never seen Emmett happier than that moment. I know. Yet how I long to see other places, other times. But who was I to ask him to give up his reward? After all, we still had Jules Verne, and soon we had Jules and Verne. I love them without reservation, and I love the stories Emmett tells them of his adventures. Yet how I wish to join the adventures to take our boys to the future and past. I tried to hide my feelings, a practice I had grown accustomed to through the years. Could Emmett see through my facade? Clara, come with me. I have something to show you. The life we build here is splendid. More than a man like myself could hope to dream of. But out there, my friend Einstein, my friend Marty, as happy as I am here and now with you and the boys, do you want to leave us, Emmett? What? Oh, no, of course not. I want to take you and the boys back with me. Back to the future, at least for a visit. It was the happiest I'd ever been. Until today, when Emmett hesitated yesterday, worried he would be pulling me from the only life I ever knew, I realized I could concealed a piece of myself that I believed we shared. But from today on, I vow this. No more secrets. Doc, are you all right? Clara, I'm fine, Emmett. We're all fine. I don't understand. It should have worked. My calculations. I mean, everyone makes mistakes, even the Baltimore Gun Club. The what? Oh, yes, of course. An asteroid threw them off course in Verne's novel, around the moon. they never made it to the moon. Not in that novel, but I always believed they tried again, and armed with their knowledge, succeeded. I don't know, Clara. I'm sure Marty will take care of Einstein. I could stay happy here forever. So in other words, this is still before the ending of 3!
Ah, jeez.
But I couldn't. I need this, Emmett. I need to see the future. This was my dream. Oh, I understand, but no. But it's not your dream. It's our dream. All of our dreams, Dad. You told us so much about the future. We must go see it. And now, how do we go about that? Emmett, look. Great Scott. Somebody invented cars without me. Pardon me, sir. This contraption of yours. A stir-pulled steam tricycle. I had it imported at great expense from France. Of course, France. Tell me how fast does it go? Why, I've taken as fast as 18 miles per hour. 18. Well, that sounds like a good start, Emmett. The future would come fast enough once we set our minds to it.
That guy, look, the guy with the mustache, I'm just thinking of Cavendish from Milo Murphy's Law. But yes.
So how was that?
Not bad. I like
So yeah, what was your favorite story?
Good question. Then technically it works as a whole, but
if you had to pick,
I guess my favorite too was the one where we see a Sprite. The one where we see sorry, guys. The one where we see Doc getting opportunity, and when Marty has problems with Jennifer.
For me,
it gives us some interesting perspective of how they got started.
For me, it's this last issue. This last issue is my favorite. Yeah. Finding out Clara's history and finding out that, because it always bothered me, like, well, so what, they have nothing to worry about other than just getting things back on track? But now we know, no, there was a ticking clock.
Well, to be honest, to take a hell like that is no Hill Valley. I think anybody would want to be under the iron fist of Biff anyway.
But all we knew was they were just going back in time to just fix the problem, and that was
it. Fix that, and make sure George wasn't dead.
Oh yeah, but as far as they were concerned, no, they're still alive and everything, so they weren't going to be erased. But now we know they would have been erased.
But what about what he said about Jennifer and Einstein? I mean, they were fine.
Oh no, they were fine because basically they were setting things back straight. So and they weren't erased yet.
Right. So what about Jennifer? What about Einstein? We can't just leave him here. Don't worry, buddy. As soon as we fix this, it'll go to do it.
They're back to the original 1985. Instantaneous transforming around Jennifer and Heidi.
Jennifer and Heidi all have no memory of this terrible place.
Yep. But again, I mean, I just like how, Clara's always been a character that it felt like there was always more to her. You knew it, but we never saw it. But now we do. And to know that
it was always implied. Yeah.
And I also love how it's because of her that Doc decided to rebuild the time machine. Or through her influence.
Right. You can't have a good science test now, Marty. Besides, I had to come back for Einstein, and, well, I didn't want you to worry about me.
Now I'm betting that ending right there was done because they had found out already they were going to extend it. I bet you originally would have ended with them, succeeding.
Probably.
Yeah, but overall though, I this did fill in so many questions I've always had over the years, and I'm glad Bob Gale finally got a chance to tell it.
It was cool.
Yeah, it definitely was. And after this, we'll go into an ongoing series that would deal with all the past post movie stuff.
Sweet.
Including Marty wondering, wait, this isn't my timeline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a big one that I'm so glad that I finally got told, because that always bothered me. It's like, he's not going to have the same history, clearly. Now with his parents.
No, he wakes up ready to sell the demo tape to the company. Then he looks back at his living room and he's like, wait a minute.
Yep.
Then see just how much his family has changed.
But again, it tells you already things weren't going to be exactly. And then we eventually also get a story that finally tells us what happened with Uncle Joey.
Oh yeah, he skipped parole again.
But that's
no matter what, I love that. That's a sad joke that they said. No matter what timeline they're in, he's always behind bars.
Yep, but we find out why, and it does tie in the Doc. Is all I will say.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, though. So overall, I give it a strong 8. Not perfect by any means, but
I give it an 8.
Yeah, definitely. Well, okay, yeah. So yeah. 8.5 is what I would say.
Okay, you gave it an 8. I'll grade it an 8.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys all for sticking around, and we'll see you guys all in the next one.
And remember, the future is what you make it.
Yep. So make it a good one, all of you.